Hi, friends. I'm back after way too long, and I'm so excited today. I am speaking with. Okay, wait. It's so funny because I talk to her every day. So I don't know why only today I'm speaking with, but I talk to her every day. Her and Wendy, who I'm talking to later. And oh my gosh. So today we're talking about the NATS conference coming up in Knoxville in late June, early July. And Eden is not only a featured performer whoop, whoop, with her beautiful show, Kahn Artist, about Madeline Kahn and Eden's relationship with her. And also, I am so lucky because we are presenting together on AI in the music studio. Oh my gosh. And I just have to say, she comes on camera this morning. We did not coordinate our outfits. And here we are. This is how in sync we are, people. We are like, whoop, whoop.
Mind meld.
Fully. I mean, you know what? Let's be honest. Eden is my side piano coach. She is my go-to cabaret expert. And she's my really good friend because I love her. And she has a beautiful open mind about things like AI. And she doesn't freak out. And instead, she's excited. And so off to the races we go.
Okay.
Eden, yes. Hello.
Hi, Karen, my dear. It is so good to see you.
I know. We always text. We don't see.
Yeah, we text a lot, but it's nice to actually have time just to see you.
I know. It is. How is your weather out there? Is it all crazy?
We had 7 inches of rain yesterday in Rhode Island. Yeah. I guess we're going completely tropical now, but it was good, right? So I'm kind of envious of you out there in the West, with your dry heat and everything. We just have wet cold out here.
We've got the dry heat. And this weekend it feels like summer. So we arrive and pre-conference day is going to be so fun because all pre-conference workshops are amazing. Those are on Friday, the June 28th. And then you are performing. You are our opening performer.
I am.
So exciting. Tell us about your show.
Sure. This is called Kahn Artist, Madeline and Me. And it is a cabaret, or what I like to call a solo musical, basically. Because if you've seen a musical, you got your characters, you got your story. And the whole purpose of a musical is, does the protagonist get what they want? So that's what we're doing in Kahn Artist, but we're doing it through my life story and also my fascination, my adoration of Madeline Kahn.
Oh, are there humans in the world who don't admire and adore her?
Just in case. I mean, I get half and half. I would assume I get 20-year-olds when I do this show who say, oh, I've never heard of her, but now I'm really interested in her. But I also get older performers or older people who will say, I've forgotten her, or I only saw a little bit of her, but now I feel like I know her a lot better. So I'm just thrilled that that's the reaction we get. But if you didn't know who she is, Madeline Kahn was nominated for an Oscar twice, won a Tony for Best Actress, but was really known for her roles in movies with Mel Brooks, including Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, The History of the World Part 1, High Anxiety. But she did wonderful work. She's known for her comedic talent, but also her voice. And that was what attracted me to her when I was 16 years old.
Oh, nice. She's one of those incredible actresses and comedians who is stunningly gorgeous.
Yes.
And not afraid to be funny and wacky and out there. I mean, right? Kind of like you, my friend. Stunning,
like me.
Gorgeous, and willing to do all the things on stage, right? You know what is funny? One of my favorites about her is Clue.
Yes. Flames on the side of my face, breath, heaving breaths. Right?
Yes, that. Oh my God. I mean, I could watch that scene over and over. And of course, Young Frankenstein is
Tavita. Right? Oh, yeah. She's brilliant in that. And a lot of those moments that she did were improvised. She had improv training. She did train to be an opera singer and went to Hofstra. She ended up with a degree in speech language pathology, which also served her really well. She never regretted it at all. Yeah. And it helped her create kind of those different voices and characters that she used. But she really considered herself to be a serious actress who did some comedy. She said, being funny, it ain't easy. And I think a lot of comedic people would say that. So for me growing up, I was clearly headed towards opera because that's what you did when you sang is you headed towards opera. And I had that voice and I was fascinated by the other redhead Beverly Sills because I had kind of that kind of a voice. And she seemed also kind of funny. And then Madeline, but it was really a television commercial that she did in the mid 80s for Michelob Light that I saw her do it. And at the end of it, she launched this high note. And so she was funny and she was sexy and she got to sing high notes. And in 30 seconds, I thought, I want to be that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eden, what a great story. And and not the funny thing is, but I guess the ironic thing is you are that. I've been so lucky I've never seen your show, so I'm super excited to go. And I already have like my little group that we're all going to go and sit with you. So everyone come sit with us. But just watching you perform, I've seen you perform at the Speakeasy Cooperatives, our weekend retreat workshop. And of course, then when you came out and visited me in Las Vegas and you said, "So Mamas," that was super fun. And everyone was like, "Oh, I love this stuff. Oh, what? Oh, my God." I'm like, right. So I've been really lucky. And you have a fun CD album thing with a band, right? Tell us
I
about
do.
that.
I do. I recorded an album with a band here in Providence, Rhode Island called Evening Sky. And they're kind of what do they call themselves? Roots infused jazz music. And I sing a little bit of Gordon Lightfoot on it, some Maria Moldauer, a lot of Linda Ronstadt, who's another major inspiration for so many. And I'm so grateful to have had really good voice training to be able to do all those different styles. So I've always been kind of a shapeshifter when it comes to singing. And I thought everybody did that. It took me a long time to realize that people didn't, that they tend to be specialists. Right. So, but in Kahn Artist, I do a little bit of a lot of different voices, hers, and also some other characters that she played. And I tell her story and my story about, wanting to have that kind of career, being a really good soprano, but also funny and getting to perform at a high level. And how in the world of opera, they didn't really need that when I was growing up and training. Right. So that was a big frustration is how do I get there? And cabaret was the way to get there. So that turned out really well. But I still love singing really high, but also doing belting and a little bit of everything. So I'm grateful for that kind of flexibility.
So exciting. Well, I know that all of us at NATS are super excited and so very glad that you were able to do that and that we have you on the docket. And we have a lot of entertainers, friends on the docket that are doing great things. So be sure we're going to be releasing, by the way, Guidebook. And Guidebook is like a digital booklet where you can keep track of all the presenters, all the events you want to go to, all the workshops and coffee chats and paper sessions and all of those things. You'll be able to keep track of it. And I'm going to make a little guide of how to do that. And I'll be putting it on socials and I'm sure they'll send it out in an email. But
that was so helpful last time to have that. I've been to a bunch of NATS conventions and that guidebook is super helpful. There's so many things to choose from. Sometimes it's hard to decide, which route to go. And I'm glad that if I can't be at something live, many times I can watch it later on it's not pay-per-view. What do you call it?
It's at the Live Learning Center.
The Live Learning Center. That's right. So you don't have to miss out on anything. But I do hope that, NATS people will come to Kahn Artist, because if you've ever had that little bit of frustration where your singing career just wasn't going the way you wanted it to, and you didn't know what to do next, well, that's what this is about. And if you've ever wondered, I can sing high notes, but what else can I do? That's what this is about. Madeline also had some of those same frustrations that I did. That was the most amazing thing that I uncovered about her, is that a lot of the things I faced, she had already faced and figured out a way forward. So I think it's going to be really interesting for voice people. And I do talk about college voice training and things like that. But also it really was a triumph of hers that she ended her career in a really positive way. And we can all get lessons from how she lived her life and the things that she did.
Oh, Eden, it's just so inspiring. And by the way, congratulations, truly biggest congratulations. You won a MAC award for a song that you wrote with your cohort, your colleague. And of course, now the reviews are starting to come in about Kahn Artist. And quite frankly, they're all amazing. And that is so much in part due to your amazingness and also your dedication and hard work. So I just wanted to say that publicly. It's so admirable. It's so exciting. And at the end, I'll be sure to Eden's going to send me all of her good information. And if you want to write a show, about something like that, or you want to talk to Eden and book a session with her, you most certainly can do that. And I'll be sure to put all the links in the show notes after, and they'll be there when this releases. Okay, let's do a little segue into our presentation.
Yes.
I know we're both Apple lovers.
Totally. I mean, I love tech. I always have. And I'm not scared of tech. I can understand people who are, but really it's just, why are we scared of things? Because we don't understand them. We need some time with them. But then once you get a little time with it, you're fine. So AI is just another example of that.
That's right. And I was just saying to Nikki this morning that, listen, I know that it can seem weird and creepy and scary and what's happening and this and that. But when we don't understand something and we don't take the time to learn it, that's when it actually can be the scariest.
Yeah.
Right. Not only that, we want to make sure that the good people, this is so important, friends. It's just like social media. The good people are using it because the good people will use these tools for all of the good reasons and positive reasons and uplifting reasons and helpful reasons, right? And so that's why I love social media and I talk about it all the time. And now AI it can make your life easier. It can make making music easier. And I'm not talking about the AI created music, although I don't know why you wouldn't want to use that if you just needed some filler music that you weren't actually creating because you're doing a different type of project, right? Like it can be that kind of thing. It can be like using Grammarly just to check your writing. There's nothing wrong with that. But specifically what I'm super excited about, and I was thinking, are they listening to me? Because is that why they released it yesterday, knowing I was going to talk about all this today?
Probably.
But ChatGPT 4.0. Oh, Eden, it's crazy. It is so wild, friends. All I can say is I posted it on if you're a friend or a follower on my Facebook, you can see these 2 videos that I posted of people talking to Chat 4.0, and it sounds like a person who is talking back and taking note of the surroundings and then offering help based on the questions that they were asking it. It is truly revolutionary in a way that things have not been so far. I think they've been like, oh, I get it, this, that, but and what's even better, Eden, is it's free. Nobody has to pay for this iteration right now because they just want to get people on there and using it to see. So here's a great example. This morning, it's early morning because Nikki is 4 hours difference, right? And so I told her I can talk at 7, but still that's really early, right? So I'm getting ready and I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to be scatterbrained. What do I want to make sure I focus on? So I went to ChatGPT 4.0 and I said, I always say like a greeting, good morning and hello, happy Friday, like a dork. And I said, can you help me think of what I should focus on and what the best things that I should talk about for my voice teacher and creative friends? That's all I said.
And it just told you.
It told me like, make sure you talk about your messy consistency. Make sure you talk about the Speakeasy Cooperative and what you do there. Make sure you talk about I gave it no other instructions. Now, I will say, of course, I've trained it, which everyone can do when you have a paid subscription to ChatGPT. And by the way, there's other ones, Gemini, there, I think is it Howard, Jasper. So there's a lot of them out there. I'm just talking about the ones I know. Gemini, I pay for that one, and I know ChatGPT. And
I just started paying for ChatGPT because you told me to. And I find that even yesterday, I noticed that Google now offers the AI answers.
Oh, the generative thing that I showed. So I showed that started happening. Well, as usual, I signed up for the beta. That started happening about 3 months ago. I shared it in my newsletter. That what happens is if somebody searches for, let's make the example of best voice teacher to help me find my mixed voice. That's that's actually a searched for phrase.
Yeah.
Well, it answered how to do it first. Then it gave examples of YouTube videos that talk about it. Then the actual website results were all underneath that, which, by the way, was underneath the fold. You had to scroll up in order for it to see. So what's happening with these, and why I think social media and why YouTube is really the way and all of that, is because when people are out searching on the web for answers about anything, they're answering the questions, and they're not directing them to websites. They're directing them to videos, social media, and it's answering the questions itself from what it's learning.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Amazing.
And people look at it from two angles, right? You look at it as the person who's searching, but also as the person who wants to be a searchee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or wants to be found. You want your college to be found. You want your college voice program to be found, your private business to be found, your show. So it's really important to think about that if you're that kind of a person, if you're the searchee. But also as the searcher, I think about how I'm using it. And I noticed that, yes, more and more AI is kind of organically coming into my life.
That's right.
I'm using Descript. I'm using Moises. But yesterday I was editing the audio on MuseScore, right? Which also has a little bit of AI. But I didn't want to go through the entire manual. And so I'm typing into the chat, how do I solve this particular issue in MuseScore? And AI produced the answer.
Exactly. And that's the kind of thing that I want us, and as we already are, have putting the finishing touches on our presentation. Those are the kinds of things that you want to be using in your music studio so that it's not a time waster. You want to focus on your student, on the voice things that you're teaching, maybe the piano things that you're teaching, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to waste time, or you don't need to waste time on admin, right? You don't need to waste, like the transcription thing, unless that is what you're teaching. You should teach that, and I teach that as well. But sometimes I had my student wanted to play the Leve version of Misty. He loved her intro. It's so beautiful, by the way, if you haven't heard it. And for his audition to get into the jazz piano program. And so we were like trying to figure it out. And it was fun. But I realized, okay, there's other things regarding this audition we need to focus on. And transcribing was only a very small part of it, right? So I found something called Anthem Score. I'll be sharing that in the presentation. And it listened and it wrote out almost note for note the whole thing of the piano, all the notation of the piano.
They still needed you, but they did the lion's share of the work, so that way you can do the detail work at the end that only you can do.
Exactly. Then we had it written out. I played it through. I was like, this is perfect. Then I had him add the chords like above, so he could use, because that's where his focus is. So that was obviously, you have to know the sounds and what notes in order to write a C major 7 over E, whatever it was, right? So you have to know those things. So it's not going to take away. It's actually going to add.
So the song that I won for, What Are You Doing Rosh Hashanah Eve, right? Yes. I wrote that. We did lyrics first. I wrote out just a chord chart. I wrote it 4 years ago with my friend Dan Chaka. Yeah. And then I started performing it occasionally, in different places. And somebody finally said, I think you should submit it for the MAC Awards. I think it could be a nominee. And I did. And I didn't have to submit anything except lyrics and a video of me performing it, right? Yeah. And then it won. Oh, no. And I realized I had people coming up to me at the awards. Where can I buy that song? Oh. I thought, oh my gosh, I've never taken the time to actually accurately transcribe this. Whoa. So I either get to go home and, type it out in MuseScore or figure it out, which is going to take me hours and hours. I sent it to TuneScribers and they used AI and they produced it based on my audio. Right. And so, but and then I had to go back and I had to check for accuracy, and it was not completely accurate. So, but I was able to go in and finesse it and make it exactly how I wanted it. And it's available for sale now. Sheet Music Plus. So that took
that in the link, by the way.
I'll put that in there. Yeah, it's available. So, but that was such a gift and such a weight off my shoulders to know that I could do that. So that's my songwriting process, is often lyrics, just a chord chart. But then as I'm working on the actual arrangement,
Yeah.
I don't have that skill set. And I know there are wonderful arrangers in the world, but even the wonderful arrangers are still using TuneScribers. Because
exactly.
it takes some of the drudgery out of it so that way you can focus on other things.
That's exactly it, friends. And the thing is, the biggest thing for me is we want to focus on what we do, not on the extraneous, so that what we do becomes actually even better. Those are fun musical things, but having Chat GPT or Gemini or any of the ones that are out there do your social media for you, edit your videos for you. I know, listen, I hear you all complaining. I know.
I need help with that, Karen. And I watch you and I watch what you do with your videos. And then every time I text you in the morning crying, I got to do this work, you tell me which app to use. So I'm testing them now. So that way we can talk about them at NATS.
Exactly.
And because video is really important. It's really important.
And especially, let's face it, friends. And this is something I said on Nikki's podcast this morning, was that we're running a business. And so we have to, there are business things, all truth here. I'm not a good business person. You know, I already told my tax guy knows he just did an extension. Like, you know, I got to do all that. I'm still working out my budgeting things, all that junk. As much of that Chat GPT or an AI can help me with, why wouldn't I do that? I don't like it. I don't understand it. I'm not good at it. So why wouldn't I use that assistant? Now, here's the thing. I know, and I'm prepared for this. I know that people are going to say you're taking jobs from transcribers, from accountant types, bookkeepers, whatever. And I'm going to share with you first some tough love and some gentle reminders that those people are using this too, so that they can actually have more clients because they're doing it faster. Number one. Number two, if you are a small biz owner and you can't afford or don't want to afford, either of those choices are fine. A team, ChatGPT can become your team. And that's how I use it. ChatGPT is my team. Chat is my virtual assistant. And I use that on, I use Craft, which is sort of like a Notion or a CRM type of thing. I love Craft. That's what I've ended up using. And then now built into these systems are even more AI. And now the other big announcement from yesterday that I was beyond thrilled was that Apple has now partnered with, and that's going to be the big update that's coming. I know.
Really?
Yes.
They partnered with Chat?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's amazing. So go look at that. It's incredible what's going on. And again, as I've said, and I just don't think I can overstate this, when the good people use these good products, we uplift things, and then we can help things and we can do things better. I want to get all that admin junk and all the extra stuff when my students are like, Miss Karen, can you help me write this out or cut this or do that? Those are outside of lesson time, right? Which is why we don't charge by the hour. We charge by the value of our studio, by the way. Thank you so much, Michelle Marquardt DeVoe of
Absolutely.
Right. So I want to get that stuff done so I can do what? Hang out with my family.
Yeah.
And have some downtime, do whatever. So I hope that the whole point of you and I doing this is to encourage people, because it gives them their time back to do what they love, which is teach, make music, write, create, right?
And you can engage in it at the level that you want. So I think people have this impression that AI is taking over the world and that there's no way to escape it. And that's not true.
That's right.
You can choose to engage in it. I follow a blogger, Ted Joya, who's on Substack.
Yes.
Love him. Love him.
That's how you say his name. I said his name wrong. Okay. Joya.
Yeah. Joya. I think it's Joya. Yeah. And his brother is a poet, right? A poet laureate in the States. Yeah. So, but Ted writes so knowledgeably about all aspects of music and culture. And he has said, yes, AI is all over the place. It's ubiquitous, but you still have agency over when you use it. And we are in the Wild West period of AI. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where not every AI that you see right now is going to stay. Right. So some of it's going to go away, just like at the beginning of computers. Remember in television? In the 80s, remember how we would use cassette recorders, right? And I watch war games. So everybody thought that that's what was going to happen when you have computers. We're going to start World War III with a computer, right? So we all think that the AI is going to do that too, that suddenly AI is going to get launch codes and we're going to end the world as we know it with AI, or the bots will take over our lives. I don't think so. I think that we have to be engaged, though, in order to be able to bring AI into the best parts of our lives.
That's right. That's right. And listen, my big thing is I think it's like 5 or 6 years ago when I was first talking about social media to all the voice teachers out there on the Full Voice podcast and other podcasts. I tiptoed in with all of you and I was loving and I was soft and I didn't want to scare people and people were mad at me. Remember that at the Las Vegas conference?
They shot the messenger.
Yeah, just really shot the messenger for sure. But the fact of the matter is, friends, and look, now most of you who were complaining about it, I see you on there and I'm not mad and I'm not like, told you so. No, I'm so freaking glad to see you sharing your brilliance and sharing stuff that voice teachers and singers need to know. We need to know these things. I feel like I sing better now than I did when I was 20 because of all the stuff that I'm learning from all my brilliant friends, plus teaching, right? It's just amazing. Mm-hmm. But here's the game. I'm not going to tiptoe in about AI. I'm going to push hard on it because I want you to be at the beginning of this. I want you to be involved in this and as literally as part of its birth, if you will, right? So that, again, the good people are directing the way this goes. Because if people don't pay attention, I mean, I'm not going to get political and all that, but when we don't pay attention to things, what happens? What happens out there? So stop it. Pay attention. Learn how to use it. Embrace it to the extent that is comfortable to you, but also useful and helpful. It will help you in so many ways. So anyway, oh my gosh, we could go on and on. Do you have any last minute wrap up things that you'd like to say about this? Or
for Kahn Artist, because I'm a cabaret performer, I don't have an agent. I don't have a manager. I have to do all this myself. So I make all the posters using Canva AI and resize them. And I do all of the editing of my own promotional videos and I film them all myself. And those are the skills that you have to have if you want to be able to do something at scale. If I was only doing it once every 2 years, it wouldn't be a big deal. Right. But I actually want to do this more regularly. So that's what you have to do. So any part of your life where you have that repetition happening is where AI could be useful. So, and it does not impact my artistry. It makes it easier for me to be an artist because I can do these other things.
Oh, I love that, Eden. It makes it easier for you to be an artist because it takes off the onus of having to do those other things. Yay. So good. I love it. Well, friends, I'm going to put all the info down in the show notes where you can find Eden and all the cool things she's doing, how you could book her if you want to talk to her about cabaret stuff. And of course, there'll be all my good stuff. I want you to find me on Substack. I write a great newsletter over there. And of course, at Social Butterfly Group on Instagram. And I'm pretty much on every platform. So just look around and say, hey, whatever platform you like is okay with me.
She's a butterfly. She floats and flits to many places. It's all good.
Oh, I love it. I love you, my friend. I'm so excited to see you.
I can't wait.
I cannot wait. And then Wendy, I'm talking to Wendy later, Wendy Jones, who will be talking about jazz. I was like, I need to do a little studying before I better know what my dominant sevens and my major sevens and my.
Oh, I have a list of jazz chord symbols up here, right? That's what I'm looking for on AI, by the way, is help with my jazz piano. So I see a few different, apps and AIs to use. Yeah. So, and I follow a few humans as well. And so I'm getting the lessons from the humans like Amy Nolte and
love her.
Yeah. But when I'm practicing and when I'm playing a chord and trying to figure out what it is, sometimes I get online, like, what did I just play? And
right. We can either ask Wendy or AI.
Yeah. And Wendy needs to sleep. So it's okay. Yeah. Occasionally.
Oh my gosh, you're the best. All right. No. I hope I get to see some weather because, the weather here is like 50, 90, 50, 90. So not to complain. It's great.
Yeah, don't complain. Don't complain. You're lucky.
Don't complain. All right, love. I can't wait to see you. Have a beautiful day. And friends, we will see you all again. Bye.
Bye.